Hey guys, Al here, Vitalize Seed. I kind of wanted to ask everybody who listens to these videos a question today. So it's been on my mind a lot over the past couple of years. Just listened to a really good podcast. I believe Jeremy Flynn is one of the hosts, Hunter, but it's Huntr. And they had a gentleman by the name of Mike Rex, who is chairman of the board. I forget the exact title, but it's similar to that, or chairman of the commission for the DNR. So basically, he presents along with a group. They listen to the populace and present ideas to the board. You know, bag restrictions or bag limits, season restrictions, etc. So it was a really interesting podcast. I thought Mike had done a very good job of kind of explaining the dynamics that the DNR has to deal with, not just in Ohio, but in all DNRs. You know, they're trying to appease everybody within a state as far as, you know, not having too many deer, not having not enough deer, you know, the anti-hunters who want no deer to be harmed, and so on and so forth, and trying to find that balance between all of those things. I had actually wrote to Mike, and he wrote right back to me, and we had a very short exchange, but a very friendly exchange, and I know he's a busy guy, so I appreciated him getting back to me. And I reached out to one of the gentlemen, I believe I wrote to Jeremy as well on the podcast to get his idea, but I'd be interested in your take. So it seems like so many states, Ohio specifically, I know a lot of guys who say we don't have enough deer. The numbers are way down. I've shared, you know, my personal experience, which I know I'm fortunate to have a decent sized farm. We seem to have a good amount of or even an overabundance, specifically of does. And, you know, we've done things over the last couple of years to help at least regulate that, at least with some level of success in keeping numbers at least in check. But I'm curious, you know, it's hard to say. A lot of people put the blame back on DNR. Well, they want, you know, so many deer killed or whatnot. So something I've always thought about is, well, what about like you going to DMAP programs? I know several other friends of mine throughout the Midwest. It varies. So one friend, Sam, is in Illinois. They have a lot of non-hunting ground around their farm. They're loaded with does. I have other friends in Wisconsin who are like, we haven't seen nearly the amount of does that we've been seeing in years past. We're not going to shoot any does. So obviously there's fluctuations there throughout regions and even throughout counties. So I've always been a big fan of this idea of DMAP programs where they, you know, you have a biologist look over, especially with the evolution of thermal drones, to where, you know, you know, in my case, the DNR, but DNRs could contract with some of these thermal drone guys, have them scout out, say, a 5 or 10 or 12 acre, 12 square mile, excuse me, not acre, 12 square mile area, get an idea of deer densities, maybe have a biologist do some drive arounds, look at browse pressure, you know, do observational from the truck deer, and then come up with a plan, you know, for those areas, you know, and I'm sure there's a way to streamline it. I believe the state of Mississippi does this. I know for me, I'd be much more willing to pay more money. I'd pay double the license fees if it meant that we could have more plans specific to an area or a region of a county versus just countywide. And that way we could really pinpoint the areas that maybe, hey, in this 12-mile area, you know, we need to shoot 500 does. And in the next 12-mile square area, we only need to shoot 6, you know, or whatever that might be. It seems like a really good plan to be able to kind of measure the browse, the impact. Obviously, more rural areas might be able to have a little bit higher carrying capacity than an area that's, you know, right adjacent to a large suburb or city or a highway for that matter. Those areas we might have to target more aggressively from a harvest perspective. And I just want to get your guys' thoughts. Anybody have any ideas as to why or why not that has not been implemented in more northern states, or more specifically more Midwestern states, as it has been, I believe, in states like Mississippi. So what are your all thoughts on that? Thanks for tuning in, guys. VitalizeSeed.com.